Key, and I'm back with another video. As always, I invite you to listen to this with an open heart, open mind, and definitely an open eye. And with that being said, I'm just going to get right into it. So this video, we're talking about human design, what it is, and why is it important in this time. Now, if you're familiar with human design, great. I'm glad that you're here to get some more knowledge about it. And if you're not, that's okay too, because you're in the right place, because you're also about to get some knowledge about it. So don't feel like you have to know what human design is. That's the point of why I'm making this series. And also so that, you can get a little insight about what it is that uh, I do as far as like the meat and potatoes of, you know, our business and what it is that I use. So I figured why not bring human design in it, and also because ain't nothing wrong with a little free game. Everybody love a little free game, and I ain't no gatekeeper, so I'm gonna go ahead and just put some information out there about it. And also a big thing, what I noticed with human design, and all, like when I first got into human design, and don't get me wrong, like I love the teachers that I have come across and listened to as far as when it comes to human design. But what I realized, that there aren't a lot of BIPOC individuals speaking on this information. And what I realized is that representation matters. Now, this is me kind of going off on a tangent, but not really. So I found a video, the other day, and it was, what was that man? Nuri Muhammad. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. That's the first time that video found me, which I'm glad it did, because this is another reason. It gave me something to respond to. And if you're familiar with human design, then you know what I mean when I say that. And if not, then by the time you get done with this, you're gonna know what I mean when I say that it gave me something to respond to. So when I saw that video, and he was talking about, basically a part of it was representation, and how going into the school system and they teach BIPOC individuals about this history, and most of the history is whitewashed. Now, it's not a black or white thing. I say that all the time. It's not. I'm not an individual that's this or that, or like just I stand by something and that's the and or I stand for something and then that's it. No, this is not that. We're all one. I'm a firm believer in that. But representation does matter, because it is a part of the human experience. And that's something that we have to overcome. So we can't forget about that, and we can't just dismiss it. It's here, and it's true, and we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room in order to get past it and surpass it. So when I've been watching, human design videos over the years, and just countless hours of studying, and one of my favorite human design um, teachers or individuals is Dr. Karen Curry Parker. And I love, of course, what she stands for, and that's where, you know, that's one of the first individuals that I found. And what I realized is that a lot of individuals, like I said, are not of the BIPOC community. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was like, okay, wait, what happened? All right, so the video, the video, and how history is whitewashed, and the the white children go through school and they have all this representation, so that by the time that they get out of the 12th year, they're feeling empowered. And by the time that the black individual gets out of the 12th year, the way he put it was, they got their heads down and they pants down. So they both come in with their head down. Like kindergarten, you're timid. uh, and you don't want to leave your parent. And by the time you go through school, the white individual is empowered, and then the black individual is comes out with the same way that they went in. And if you think about it, it does make sense because, oh, let me mention this. So he was talking about a study that was done. They called it the Obama Project, and they gave a group of students a test, and they failed the test. And after Obama became president, they gave the same group of students the test with no studying, no additional resources or anything like that. They gave them a test and they all passed with flying colors. So if you can correlate that, is that as Obama as the president, and they gave those kids that test, they passed it because the representation, they felt empowered and they felt like they could do anything. So when it comes to like this work and why a lot of us are doing this work, not even just BIPOC individuals, like I'm gonna say like Jewish islanders, like things like people like just anywhere. Someone somewhere is waiting for you to put information out there because you are that representation. And it's not even really, not only or really the fact that I'm a BIPOC individual. It has to do with the fact that I'm a part of the LGBTQA community, and that's a big thing that's under represented because growing up, I didn't have a lot of individuals like myself that were in mainstream media or made me feel like I was I'm hearing the word safe. So I'm like, okay, listening to that, and then it's like, dang, like let me go ahead and put put this out here, and that representation. I have the knowledge, I have the understanding, so I want to share it and empower individuals just like the information empowered me. So that was very long winded. Not really, because it was purposeful. So now that that is out of the way, we can get into why we're here. And that's to talk about human design, like I mentioned before. So, what is human design? Let's start with how it came about. So, human design is a fairly new system. It was transmitted to Ra Uru in 1987, and he was told that it was for the evolution of humanity. Now, because of the time we are in, the day and age that we're here, this is where it becomes purposeful, especially in this 9 year. 9 year is transformation, and then the 9 year is 2025. That's what I'm talking about. If you take 2 plus 2 plus 5, you get 9, which all numbers carry a vibration. So 9 is the vibration of transformation, or some people ending in deaths. But as we know, nothing truly ends. It just changes forms, or there it's a cycle. So we go through these cycles, and then we get a new cycle. Now what's been happening is we have been stuck in the same cycle. We've been stuck in the same cycle because individuals are running around and not fulfilling their purpose, not living in their design, and not fulfilling their blueprint. So Ra Uru got the information 1987 and told us for humanity, the evolution of humanity. Now, like I said, 9 year. What's happening is we're moving into a time where doing things with no meaning or no purpose is becoming obsolete. And if you haven't noticed, there has been a lot of individuals unaliving themselves. There have been individuals that have been just in a sense going crazy. And it's going crazy because it's like I don't know what to do with myself. Now I'm gonna we're all as a collective, we're all trying to we're all in a self-connection phase of life. There is a there's an I'm trying to think if I want to get into that. Not today. Just so we're all trying to get we're all in a self-connection phase. So what that means is we're all in a time of trying to figure out who are we outside of this, who are we outside of that. Like a lot of individuals, who am I outside of being a sibling, who am I outside of being a mom, who am I outside of being a dad, who am I outside of being a career person, who am I outside of being this and that. So we're asking all these questions, but there isn't necessarily a definitive answer. So human design allows you to open yourself up to um, define that question. You know what I'm saying? So what is happening is, because we have been in survival for so long and we're moving out of that, we're being, first of all, we're being forced. So it's no choice. Either it's to get with it or get lost, because whether you move with the energy or not, the energy is going to continue to move that way. Everything is according to its purpose. It's a part of the master plan. So we're moving out of that survival and that fear-based instinct, and we're moving into the emotional solar plexus, which is the the emotional solar plexus center. And we are moving more into our body and how we feel, instead of making decisions from here, which is just um, like malarkey within itself, because this is what is essentially broken. We can't make decisions from something that isn't functioning well in this time. What worked 10,000 years ago, or even 500,000 years ago, is not working for this time, and that's why we need to. We're basically playing catch up, and it's what I call it is an operating system, and we're updating our operating system. So we have to update our operating system to fit the time that we're in now. You're not It's like Apple comes out with a new software, as far as like the what is it, iOS, the 15, and like your phone updates. When your phone updates, you get that's a new system. So think about it, we're in 2025, and when Apple first started, I don't know when it started. I'm just gonna say like back in the 2000s, when Apple first started, and you know how somebody has an iPhone 12, and now Apple's on what, like the iPhone 15, 16. That iPhone 12, if you know Apple, you know that when new phones come out, the old ones start acting slow. They start getting real slow. It's because the system needs to be updated. So that's essentially what's happening to us right now. In the we're operating in like the from 500,000 years ago, and I'm gonna pin the video that I did that's talking about this as well, because that's important. Um, but we're operating from that, and we're in 2025, so it's time to release all those all of that malware that is no longer serving us. So that's what's happening, and what it is that the things that we needed that for are no longer purposeful, because we we're we don't have the need to survive in that way anymore. And it was important, because human design, it started with one type, and the more that things happen, it branched off into different types, energy types, and because we needed that energy. So now what is that we need to move into the energy where every type is fulfilling its purpose, and every type is doing its due diligence, in order for us to um, live in this realm in a harmonious and conducive manner. And for those that, like, I know a lot of us are just visitors here, but there are individuals that this is their home, this is their heaven, and nobody deserves to live in a place of turmoil and turbulence for, you know, eternity. So contrary to popular belief, that is why a lot of us high level beings are here to assist with that, and human design is a major part of that. So know thyself. So we have been focused on the who am I, who am I, who am I. So a lot of us, we know who we are. We are spiritual beings. We are spirit experiencing itself in physical form. And yes, you know that, but for some reason it's just not enough. Because if it was enough, then we wouldn't still be going through the things that we are going through now. All that information that has been put out here, it would just, we would be fine, and like that would be it, right? So what the question that we need to ask is the how are we, not who are we, it's how are we. So who am I versus how am I? That is what you need to ask yourself, the how. Now, why the how is important? Because you need to know how it is that you came here to operate, how it is that you came to do what it is that you need to do. And with human design, it it tells you the how. It tells you the story. You never got a chance to get to know that story because we were put in a society that says you have to be this, that, or the other, and all of these narratives that you have been building about yourself is from society, your family, your upbringing, career, TV, and even generational things that you came into this realm with. So we've been building off of that, but it's time to get back to the how are we, and not the who are we. So everybody is trying to fit in, whether you like it or not. The human experience comes with some uh uh base level, I guess, yeah, base level things. So what I mean when I say that, because I make it make sense. When you come into this human experience, part of innate, we have there are innate things that come with the human experience, and three of those things is wanting to fit in, feeling loved, and also feeling like you belong. So you want to fit in because you want to feel like you belong, and you want to feel love. So what we start doing is we start building these narratives around uh, the people that we meet, so that we can fit in, so that we can feel. Especially when we get into school, you start seeing all these cliques. You start seeing all these clubs and things like that. So you start building your identity around these things. You start building your personality around this. You start building even your career about what you want to do, about this, about that. And it all comes from a place of survival and wanting to, yeah, fit in. That's part of the human experience. But what happens when we start living from our most authentic nature? We realize that we still can fit in, but we start to attract those that we are meant to attract. And this is where a lot of the turmoil and the turbulence comes from, because we're essentially fighting the inevitable. And of course that's going to happen, but it's nobody's fault because nobody taught us. So um puzzle pieces. So using the analogy of puzzle pieces, we all came in as a particular puzzle piece. If you've ever seen a puzzle, then you know that all the puzzles are different shapes. Even the ones that may look similar, they're all different. That one may be maybe a quarter inch wider than the one, even though they look similar. Because I know you had a puzzle piece and you and put it try to put it in somewhere, you're like, nah, it fits, and you force it in there. That's essentially what's been happening. We've been forcing ourselves to be in these spots and be this way that we're not meant to be. So, or what we do is we'll shave down one side of that puzzle and make it look like a corner and be like, ah, okay, it fits. That's what we've been doing with ourselves. We have been altering ourselves to fit into these spots of where we are not necessarily supposed to be. Now, when it comes to the puzzle piece, I was informed that there are 8 billion people in this realm, not 4. Like, that's crazy. Like, so there are 8 billion puzzle pieces. And so we have, if you think about a puzzle that's 8 billion pieces, right? We all are supposed to be in a particular place so that that puzzle comes together and we can get the full picture. Now, if even if one piece is missing, it won't be complete. So what's happening is we're slowly moving towards where every puzzle piece is going to be in its perspective spot. And if you're staying with me with this analogy and what human design and who we are, then you understand what I'm saying. I'm not really sure how else I could put that, but each puzzle piece needs to be in its perspective spot in order to get the whole view of what it is. So what's been happening is we've been living in a realm where everyone is trying to be a piece that they're not. You know what I'm saying? So we're moving back towards that. Now, why is all of this important? Because we so if you've noticed, I would say what was it? Post 2020, I think that's when that big situation took place and when it was over said and done. Post 2020, if you notice, there were a lot of entrepreneurs surfacing, millennials and especially the Gen Zs. A lot of Gen Zs are they don't want to work for anybody else. They want to forge their own path. They're purpose driven, which is everyone has a purpose, and we have missions. So when it comes to a purpose, though Gen Z knows that there's more to just working a 9 to 5. There's more to just, yielding to what society says you have to be. They're very, it's I'm here revolution. So it's very revolutionary. So we're moving towards that energy. So when it comes to that and why human design is important is because we all are getting back to the heart space. Now in human design, that's it's the heart chakra is split into two. It's the G center and it's the will. We have to get back to the heart space, which is the G center, which is our direction in life. But in order to get into the direction, uh, in order to in order for to find that purpose and that direction in life, we have to get out of the mental and we have to get into the body, which allows us to utilize the mental for what it was actually meant to do, and that was to ask questions and for like uh, ideas and things like that. But you're not meant to make decisions from here, and that's what we've been doing, is making decisions from here instead of from here. And to make decisions from here so we can follow our actual direction in life, we have to balance our masculine and feminine energies, which is the mental and the emotional body, which is the head and the heart. But you need to uh yeah, so we need to get there. And how we get there is through human design. Uh so self love. Oh, okay. So I just talked about that. It's self love. So self love is revolutionary why self-love is revolutionary is because it forces you to step outside of the the normalities of what society says you have to do, what you have to be, and where you have to go. Like in this construct, it says like you go to school, you go to college. After college, you get you a job, and you pay your bills, and then every once in a while you go on vacation and things like that. So that's not a that's not a sustainable way of living, which is why we are where we are now. That's very idealistic. And things that are idealistic, they only can last for so long, which is why we're breaking out of that paradigm that we're breaking out of. So that's pretty much the why of all this, and I'm pretty sure I broke it down any further in my previous videos because I also know that um, this is it's I know it's all building on top of each other. I do know that. But I mean, I'm spirit led, so I just go with the flow and you know do as my spirit says. So I know that there's some information in my previous videos that ties into this. I'm gonna have to go back and listen. But um, so yeah, what's next with all this? So what's next with all this is that this was the intro to human design, and what's gonna happen next is just getting more into the nitty gritty of um, what it entails, like as far as like there are certain energy types. We're all so there's a way that you show up, and the energy that you carry that allows you to move through this realm in a conducive manner. You have a decision making tool. Everyone's intuition is not the same, contrary to popular belief. And 9 times out of 10, your intuition is broken because you're using a part that you're not meant to use. Some people's intuition speaks to them through instinct, just like that. Some people's intuition you have to feel it out. Some people's intuition is a sacral response. Like so, we have different ways that spirit speaks to us, and we all think that there's one way, and a lot of the things that people say is intuition is not correct because your intuition told you that your man was cheating on you because he didn't answer his phone when that man just went to the store to get some milk. So your intuition told you that, and then you can find out your intuition was wrong. Why was that? Because first of all, it's broken. So we're gonna get into that, get into things like that, and yeah. So that, and there are gifts. You have gifts, and these gifts are something you don't necessarily think that's a gift, but if you because we believe that our gifts are everybody has this, everybody does this, and they don't. Everybody doesn't have the ability to start things. Everybody doesn't have the ability to finish things. Everybody doesn't have the ability to um, you know be a good listener. So we all have these gifts. We were all born with these gifts, and we need these gifts to fulfill our purpose and our mission. So we have that. There are certain have certain channels, and just uh, some of us are have energy that we can sustain. Some of us don't, and a lot of people are running around trying to sustain energy that they can't, which leads to burnout. And burnout is just it's like frustration or the feeling of feeling like there's more or things like that. So it's a lot of components to it, and I'm excited about this series. I'm excited to get this information out here because everybody needs it at this time. And like I said, who don't love free game? So if you love free game, put in the comments #free game, and yeah, we're gonna go from there. Oh, I do want to leave y'all with 3 questions because I know this is a lot of information that I put out, and if you need to watch it again, because like I said, I want you to listen with this as well, not just these, you know. And just ask spirit to open up your, if some of this didn't hit, like I said, come back and watch it. But in the midst of watching it, or before watching it, just ask spirit to open up your heart, open up your ears so you hear what needs to be heard, open up your eyes so you can see what needs to be seen. And yeah, so I want to leave y'all with 3 questions, and if you're up for it, I want you to put your answers in the comment. You don't have to, but I love a good dialogue, and also it allows me to engage with you guys, because these are pre-recorded videos. So with engaging in the comments, with you guys engaging with me in the comments, allows me to engage with y'all in the comments, which also allows me to respond to if you have any questions. And that's where a lot more videos come in that way to answer your questions. So the first question is, do you feel you are in alignment with your most authentic self? Now, when you are answering these questions, I really want you to let it marinate. Don't just answer off the top of your head, because in all honesty, there's only one answer to these questions, and it can be said in 1,000 ways. So I really want you to let it marinate before you answer it. So the first question, like I said, do you feel you are in alignment with your most authentic self? Um, Number 2, what is stopping me from living my most authentic life? So you're asking yourself, what is stopping me from living my most authentic life? And number 3 is, how can I live my most authentic life? And I'll pin these questions in the comments so that you guys have them. And like I said, let these questions marinate. There's no rush. And for my for my generators and manifesting generators, I will. So the first one is good, because that's a yes or no. So, do you feel like there's anything stopping you from living your most authentic life? And then, do you know a way that you can live your most authentic life? So that's a yes or no. And then you can go off from that. Either if it's a yes or a no, then you can go into why it's a yes and why it's a no. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all watching me. Don't forget to like, share, and definitely subscribe, and leave some comments in the comment section. And until next time, deuce deuce.